Alright guys, so as you saw in the last video, my RX-7's engine is completely fucking toast, right? So I've been looking for a couple weeks to try to see if I could find some spare engines to get new rotors and housings from, and I think I found some. So today, me, Bobby, and Whiskey, we're going up to Seattle to try to pick one up. So yeah, let's get on the fucking way. Take that.
I don't even know who to choose.
Well, don't do 5-finger death punch this time. Bobby just chose a 5-finger death punch CD. Out of all of the CDs that I have, oh, what is this one? What's this one? I think I know what it is.
Haven't heard in a while.
Let's see. Let's see if I can respect your next choice. Okay. I can't be mad about that. I can't be mad about that, Bobby. So we bought the motor. It's slightly worse condition than I thought it was gonna be. I tried turning it over and it doesn't. So I got it for super cheap. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot cheaper than I was expecting to get it for. But I'm also not necessarily sure that I'm gonna be able to use a whole lot of the components off of it. But I mean, if something's good, then at least we got something. Dude was super cool though. Like, knew a whole lot about like everybody in the rotary community. We sat there and talked with him for a while. Show him the fucking motor, booby. It's back there on the tire. We'll crack her open once we get home and see what she looks like. So now that we're fucking on our way home, Bobby over here, where are we going?
Dicks.
Burgers. We're gonna get some dicks. Here we are, baby. Going to Dicks, bitch. I don't know about you, but these dick burgers are pretty small. I was hoping for bigger dicks.
It's not all about the size.
Maybe a little more dicks. Bingo bango, baby. Alright guys, so I just pulled my engine out and I actually disassembled it off camera. I was planning to get it on camera, but my fucking camera decided to not record any of it. So I can show you guys what's actually wrong with it. You guys saw the front rotor was the one that lost compression. Right there, that's a little bit of an apex seal. Looks like it came out, took this guy out, but that's the one that was actually missing. So in doing that, it actually totally fucked up the housing too. You can see all these gashes right here next to the exhaust. So basically, that's trash. So at this point, I'm needing a new rotor, and I found out that the rotors that I actually had, you can see that the combustion pockets right here are machined instead of just cast. That means that these are S5 rotors, which means that they're extremely rare and hard to find. So I did a whole bunch of research trying to find a bunch of shit, and nobody had them. Either they didn't have them or they didn't want to sell them to me. So instead of doing that, I think I'm going to revert back to the S4 rotors. So I bought 3 engines. Hopefully we get at least one good rotor. So yeah, let's start taking apart and let's see if I can put this back together sometime soon. So on this one's actually one that I've had for a couple of years. I've already taken it apart, but I'm not necessarily sure I remember all the stuff that's inside of it. So I've already taken the pan off and I've taken the flywheel off. So I'm going to start out taking off the front cover, and this is basically how they're all going to go. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of an in-depth of taking this one apart, and then after that we'll just go into speed mode. Alright, so the front pulley can just pull out, and see this right here is a factory thermal pellet. Basically inside of here there's wax that'll open up this as the oil temperature increases. This basically allows oil to go through the eccentric shaft enough to cool the rotors once the oil temp is at a certain point. And before then, it's only gonna let enough go through for the rotor bearings to actually be oiled. A lot of people actually replace these with a solid piece. So it kind of depends on what you want to do, but this one still has the factory one, so that's cool. Get this cover off. I'll pull the Dizzy. Bingo bango. Alright, front cover can come off. Leave that just on the side. So here we've got the eccentric shaft sensor drive gear. So this basically just drives that guy and the OMP pump to make sure that your engine stays lubricated. So we can pull this guy off. Fucking skink. Fucking skink. Throw that in there. Start taking the oil pump. Just pull the gears both at the same time. Bingo bango. That all goes in there. Front counterweight can come off. Fucking stupid skank. You fucking bitch. You can suck my dick. That'll go in there. You can see that's got a little ring for the bearing to sit on. We can pull the first bearing. Set that in there. Pull the oil pump. Mr. Fucking tense. You can tell I've never done this before. Alright. So that's our oil pump right there. You can see there's a little bit of wear. Not necessarily too much though. So I think this might still be a good unit to be able to use. Alright. Pull the plate off. We can pull our key out. Hopefully. There we go. Our spacer and our bearing. And then this guy right here. And I'm just going to secure that gear back in there with the bolts. Bingo bango. Alright, so the nut can come off now. This is the only thing that holds the flywheel into place, which is kind of crazy. It's a 58mm big ass nut. So we can start taking off tension bolts. These ones should already be pretty loose. There we go, baby! Pull these guys out. As you can see, there is only one that's different. This guy is longer than all the others, and it goes in a special place. You want to make sure you remember where that one goes.
What if you're just the skink?
You're a skink, Bobby.
Okay.
I don't think we should have to pound this one because it's already been disassembled. So it doesn't have any silicone holding it in there.
Just saying, if you had a V8 like everybody else says,
you
wouldn't have to have it reassembled and assembled, reassembled.
You wouldn't have to rebuild your engine every 3,000 miles. Why don't you just LS swap it?
Right there.
Things make so much more power and they're fucking so much more reliable. Anybody that says that a V8 belongs in an RX-7 can go fuck themselves. That is a fucking hot take.
True that.
That is fucking my hot take for the day. You can go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. So I'm trying to pull this key out, because that will not let us get the fucking crank outside of this this gear, because the bearing surface is very tight on that actual shaft. So that'll go in the pan. Now we should be able to pull this bitch off. Bingo bango. There's our rear plate. You can see there's some wear marks, but honestly, doesn't really catch any nails. So I'm thinking, rear plate, probably good. All right, we got rotor number 1. So we'll just go ahead and pull that rotor. So this one, you can see the pocket right there, it's all cast. That means that this is an S4 rotor. You can see a couple different markings that are on it. Where's the fucking one that I want? This guy right there. That's a C. So basically, within the different series of rotors, you have different weight classes of rotors. The C rotor is basically right in the middle, and you have a range of A, B, C, D, and E. The whole thing about it is that you can match a C to a B or a C to a D. You can only move one letter though. So you can't match an A to a C or a B to a D or something like that. You can only go to the next letter up or letter down to actually have a balanced engine. So this is a C rotor and this is good. So we have one C rotor that's good. Now that we're at this point, I'm gonna pull the dowel pins real quick. So let's just slide out with a little. I usually just get the tension bolt in there and cock it to the side and that'll pull out.
It's always a good thing to pull out.
Always remember to pull out. So you can see that housing's in pretty good condition. I don't see anything on it that really alarms me. It's got some wear, but it's honestly way better than any of the housings that I have in the engine that came out of the car. So that's a good housing. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lift up on the eccentric shaft with my knee as I pull the plate up. Now what this is going to do is it's going to allow the plate to go into a certain place where you can actually get it out.
Is it a safe place?
It's a safe place. You want to stay in that safe place. Fucking skink. There we go. Sometimes the dowel pins get stuck in there. Oh. This one looks like it has a little bit more wear right about here. I can actually feel that. So I'm gonna have to actually measure these ones to make sure that they're still usable or not. So we'll get back to you. Now, we pull our E-shaft. You can see, it doesn't really look too bad. Looks like pretty normal wear in there. I'll have to clean it off to really get a good look. We'll set that off to the side and check it out later. And rotor number dos. Yeah, see, this is the one right here where that seal got stuck in there. I'm pretty sure that this engine actually had blown coolant seals and it sat to rust for a while, and no matter how much rust penetrant I put on there or heat or anything, I couldn't actually get these seals to come out. They're too stuck. So I think this rotor's trash. Basically just a fucking ornament at this point. So we'll see. We'll see if I can salvage that seal at all, but I don't think it'll be able to. Pull those down. And we got pretty much a good housing. So that looks like our second good housing out of this engine. So that'll be a good little piece for the inventory. And with that, This engine is fully disassembled. So we got one good rotor, two good housings, and I'm gonna have to check the end plates to actually see how much wear there is on that and whether or not I want to use them or not. Basically at this point, none of them have any crazy imperfections like cracks or any weird like pitting on the water seal. So I think that most of the stuff in this one is actually going to be good. So a lot of the stuff will be able to be reused. But that leaves me with one S4 rotor, which I can't use with those. And I need another S4 rotor to make it all work. Alright guys, I think I'm going to leave the video right there. Just remember, we do still have two more engines, including the one that I bought in Seattle and another one that I bought, to see if I can get enough rotors and housings and plates to be able to put a running 13B together. So next video is going to probably be me disassembling those other two. If you guys have made it to this part of the video, I really appreciate you. And if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure to hit that like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And stay tuned. We're going to do some cool ass shit. Hope you guys are ready. See you guys next time.